What's happening, guys? Rules for Rebels. Beautiful afternoon in Chicago here. It's like 67 degrees and sunny, almost not a cloud in the sky. So I don't know if you guys can see, I got some mulch in the back. About to go home and I'm going to skip my workout day today and lay some mulch instead. But I just wanted to make a quick video kind of rambling a bit on the Kindle publishing, creating an ebook, creating a cookbook. For those of you guys who watched Side Hustle Thursdays earlier today, episode 10, if you didn't catch it, I'll link to it in the description box below. We talked about Amanda, the content marketer. That was her full-time job. She basically started a little blog, basically just to keep track of her own recipes. She happened to put up an email subscriber thing on the site. It grew to 3,000 email subscribers. She still didn't think too much of it. Once it hit the 6,000, she was like, you know, I'm onto something. Maybe I should put out a cookbook. Asked her email list, hey, would you guys be interested in pre-ordering a cookbook if I put one out? First day, got over $1,000 in pre-orders, and to this day, the business is making her over $2,000 per month. So I thought I would just make a quick video kind of rambling about, you know, as I often do, just fucking rambling about the topic of Kindle publishing, creating a cookbook, creating an ebook, etc. So this is something that I used to be pretty involved in back in my early days of trying to get some kind of online hustle going. It's something pretty much anybody can start up with really no special skills. I mean, if you can write at the 8th grade level and you know about something about any fucking topic out there, you can literally make money teaching about it. One thing that I want to tell you guys right up front is, if you don't think you're an author, if you don't think you're a great writer, you'd be surprised by how shitty a lot of the books on the Amazon Kindle Marketplace are. Really, really horrible. So don't sell yourself short. I mean, if you can write clearly, concisely, and at like an 8th grade level, you can put out an ebook and people will buy it and people won't be disappointed and won't throw tomatoes at you. Not that they could anyways. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. And two, another thing I think I see a lot of people falling into is like, oh, I'm not an expert. I'm not, you know, if you were to write maybe you're into gardening and you thought about writing an ebook, but you're like, oh, well, I'm not, you know, Dr. Green Thumb, like, you know, I'm not a professional gardener. Well, you know, can I really share my knowledge? You don't have to be the world's foremost expert on a topic to teach about it. You just have to know more than the next guy. And a lot of times, if you're able to put your own spin on something, people will love your content. So don't let those two things hold you back. I think a lot of people think about when like publishing books and things like that, especially entrepreneurs, they think like everything is reserved toward like business books and things like that, but it's really not. You can teach about anything. I thought the cookbook example from today's Side Hustle story was a great one. And here's why I thought it was really cool is basically, as I touched on in the video earlier, you cannot copyright or patent or trademark a recipe in terms of a list of ingredients. Now, you can trademark like a name for a recipe, a description of a recipe, photos of a recipe, but you can't patent or copyright a list of ingredients. So there's nothing like, let's say I wanted to start a stoner cookbook. I could go out there and look at some different stoner cookbooks or 420 cookbooks, whatever, weed cooking, and I could pluck out my favorite recipes from all those. And I probably don't want to just copy everything that they're doing. Maybe I want to make a new name for the recipe. Maybe I want to tweak the ingredients a little bit. I probably want to do a little description of the recipe, level of difficulty, ingredients and equipment that you'll need to make said recipe, etc. But literally, you could go around plucking recipes from online, from different cookbooks, etc., compile them into your own recipe book. Ideally, my advice, I would like to see you actually go, like, if you're going to have 10 recipes in your cookbook, make these 10 recipes on 10 separate occasions. Take photos so that you have your own photos and post them. If you're completely lazy or cheap or don't want to spend any money, I suppose you could just go plucking recipes from online, and instead of having a picture of like the finished recipe, maybe you could have some pictures or photos of like the raw ingredients. You'd go to a stock photo website and buy a picture of a casserole or a picture of green beans or whatever the hell it is you're making. If you do decide to go with this route, I would suggest not just doing like a cookbook of great recipes, but focusing on something specific. From Amanda's story in the Side Hustle earlier, she focused on, ketogenic, whatever her specialty diet was. It was something geared toward, it was similar to paleo, but like no starches, no carbs, and no sugar. I forget what the name of it was. I traveled to Jamaica a lot, and in Jamaica, like the Rastas, they're into an Ital diet, which I think it's vegetarian. I think they may not eat shellfish, no coffee, no sugar, but that could be one. You could do a cookbook for diabetics. You could do a cookbook for vegans, a cookbook for vegetarians. And if you wanted to get even more niche, and I thought this was a pretty cool idea, I think I may have included a picture of one of these books in kind of the little slideshow from the episode earlier, but somebody had like a paleo diet cookbook or a vegan cookbook, and a lot of times, you know, you need all these ingredients, you need fancy kitchenwares to make things, and so some girl had put out a cookbook, and it was like the college student or the dorm room guide to paleo cooking or to vegan cooking. And I thought that was kind of a cool idea because I could see a lot of college students or even like young adults who just don't have a lot of stuff in their kitchen who are like, oh, I'd love to get into like vegan cooking or go vegan, but like it seems like you need a million ingredients and you need all, you know, you need a stove and a crock pot and this, that, and the other. And it's like, I don't have all that stuff. I don't really have the money to buy all that stuff, so I guess I just can't eat vegan. So what this girl's thing was, I think kind of her niche was not only was it a vegan cookbook, but it was a vegan or a paleo cookbook for college students who maybe don't have a lot of ingredients lying around or who don't have a lot of like kitchen utensils and things like that to cook with. And that's kind of an even more specific niche. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. But like I said, I mean, you could do a stoner cookbook, you could do a weed cookbook, vegetarian, diabetic, halal. I mean, they're raw. There's no end to the types of niches you could go into. And even if you have like zero writing skills, anybody could compile a cookbook, right? But it's not just cookbooks. I mean, if you are good at gardening, you could put out an ebook about gardening. If you are good at training dogs, you could put out an ebook about dog training. If you're good at fixing hoverboards or I think I got a book out there about how to fix hoverboards, how to start a hoverboard business, etc. Think about anything that you know a lot about, and I guarantee you can put out an ebook on that topic and make money. Now, can you branch into topics that you don't know about? Sure you can, but keep in mind you're going to have to research and learn about that topic, and that's going to cut into your time. So a lot of the most successful ebooks I've written have been ebooks about topics that I knew about, that I had experience with, and then I could just literally, you know, maybe sit down, jot down kind of a chapter format of, okay, chapter 1's going to be about this, chapter 2, chapter 3, and I could literally just sit down in like 1, maybe 3 to 6 hour sitting and knock out the entire ebook. I did an ebook about how to make money with storage unit auctions. I remember I wrote it at work. I used to have to work every other Saturday, and Saturdays at work were pretty slow. So I literally sat down. I was like, okay, chapter 1, kind of an overview of storage auctions. Chapter 2, what can I expect at my first storage auction? Chapter 3, what strategies do I use to find good auctions? Chapter 4, what do I want to bring to an auction? A padlock, a flashlight, a truck to tow stuff with, etc. With my how to start a hoverboard business, like, you know, I laid out the chapters. You can actually scale this business as well. A lot of people, you know, you only have so much time. You can only crank out so many books yourself. So a lot of people will hire writers from Fiverr or Uplands or eWork or, you know, any of these other freelancing sites. You could go to a site like TextBroker, and you could basically, you come up with the topics and maybe an overview of what you want the book to be about, and then you pay somebody to write the book for you. The tricky part is finding somebody, like an English speaker who writes well is typically going to charge a lot. There's a lot of cheap writers out there, but they're going to be like people from India or Pakistan or Thailand or Philippines, and they may be English as a second language, so their stuff doesn't read quite right. But you can find some good people out there, and you can scale it. How you typically do that is you pick a topic that you want to write about. Oh, and let me touch briefly on finding topics. Like I said, if you're going to be writing the books yourself, focus on stuff you know about. There used to be a program out there called Kindle Spy. I don't know if it's still out there or not. I used to subscribe to it years ago. If it's still out there, and if I can find it, I'll link to it in the description box below. But basically, it's sort of like a Merch Informer or a Terapeak or a Unicorn Smasher, like an analytics tool, but instead of focusing on t-shirts or selling goods on eBay, it helps you pull stats about the Kindle KDP marketplace and helps you find like good keywords to target and good like book niches to target. So if I can find that, I'll link to it below. But typically you would find like a good niche that you want to write about. You might kind of write like a brief, maybe like half page or 1 page about like what you envision a book being about. Make like, you know, if you want to do 10 chapters, the titles of the 10 chapters, you may want to do a brief chapter description or some bullet points about what you want covered in each chapter, and then you hand that off to the person that you're hiring to write it, and you let them handle writing it. If you get lucky, maybe you find somebody who's good at like formatting ebooks and stuff like that too. If not, you can always do it yourself. As far as formatting ebooks, you can literally just write something in Microsoft Word, convert it into a PDF document with something like Zamzar, or even just save it on your computer as a PDF. And you can upload PDF files to the Amazon KDP marketplace. There's another free tool out there. It's called My Ebook Maker. I haven't been on there in a while, but I'm pretty sure it's still active. Basically, it really dumbs down the process of writing an ebook, because formatting can get tricky if you want to have like hyperlinks so that somebody reading on a Kindle can press chapter 10 and be taken to chapter 10. If you just write a simple Microsoft Word document, it's not going to put it in that format. But basically, if you use My Ebook Maker, it automatically kind of formats everything for you. The only downside is I think on the second page it says like this was created by My Ebook Maker. Some people don't think that's professional. Personally, I don't really give a shit. If I read a book and the content is good and I enjoy the book, do I really care if it says made by My Ebook Maker on the second page? I don't care. I don't know if you care. But My Ebook Maker will really dumb down the process if any of you guys are struggling with that. As far as, let's say you write an ebook yourself, or you have somebody write an ebook and you have it in Microsoft Word format, and you're not really sure how to get it into the format for, Kindle. There are people on Fiverr.com you can hire $5 or $10, and they'll format your ebook for you. They'll put page numbers at the top. They'll put hyperlinks on the chapter, so people on a Kindle can click the chapter and be taken directly to whatever chapter they want to go to. They can kind of help you format your pictures and stuff, so that's another option. What else was I going to say about this? So we talked about kind of, marketplaces to sell it. Amazon's great. A lot of people are searching for things on Amazon. A lot of people with e-readers go to Amazon to get their books. If you want to sell it yourself on Gumroad or something like that, you can do that as well. Gumroad offers a lot more file format types. And Gumroad's really easy. I mean, I would suggest all of you guys go to sign up for a Gumroad account right now. You can sell physical goods. You can also sell non-tangible goods. You can sell music. You can sell your album if you're an underground rapper or something like that. You can sell ebooks. You can sell digital courses. You upload your products there with like a photo or a cover photo and a description. You can either send people directly to Gumroad to buy it. You kind of have your own store on Gumroad. Or they will give you some HTML code that you can plug into your WordPress site or your Blogger site. And basically it'll show like your store or the product that you're selling on a page of your blog. That's another great way to do it. And when somebody buys it, they collect the money for you. They auto-deliver it. And then I think each week they pay you out for your sales. And Gumroad is actually what Amanda from the Side Hustling series used to create hers. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm leaving out here. I mean, we could get into how to price books and all types of other things, but I don't think that's something I'm going to cover in this video. I mean, some people price their books at like $1.90. Now, one thing I've noticed, I said I wasn't going to get into it and I couldn't help myself. My girlfriend reads a lot of stuff on Kindle, and she had kind of complained that it used to be paperbacks and hardcovers costed a lot of money, and the whole advantage of doing Kindle was that you got really cheap books. But she's been complaining that like nowadays, a lot of times ebooks are selling more than the paperback or hardback counterpart. So you may actually be able to sell your book for $10, whatever. It used to be where you wanted to price ebooks at like 99 cents, $1.99, $2.99 to get a lot more sales. If you have a very niche book, you can get a lot more. So I think I have one book about high-risk credit card processing that I co-wrote with somebody. A book like that, I mean, we could probably sell for $50. Why? Because I think it might be the only book on Amazon about high-risk credit card processing. Whereas if you're writing a book about gardening or baseball or something very mainstream, there's going to be a lot more stuff out there. So if you got a book for $50 and the next guy's selling it for $10, they have plenty of options to go get it cheaper. But I mean, if you're in a very niche subject matter that there's not a lot of content out there, either on the internet and or in book form on Amazon, you can tend to charge a little bit more. I mean, I wouldn't gouge people and charge $20, $30, $50, because think about it. You sit down one time to write the book and you have a residual revenue forever, really no work on your part. So I would price it more competitively. But I mean, I would say if you got kind of a run-of-the-mill book, charge a couple bucks for it. If you have something very niche or something that you've put a lot of time into and think has a lot of value, you might be able to charge $9, $12, $15 for it. But That's all I got to ramble about today, guys. If you have any specific topics about Side Hustling Episode 10, about Amanda's cookbook, about how to create your own cookbook, about how to write books, courses, whatever, anything along the lines of this side hustle that we talked about, drop a comment in the description box below. I'd be happy to answer your guys' questions. If any of you guys are Kindle publishers, have cookbooks, ebooks, anything like that, and have any tips to share, drop them in the comment section below. If any of you guys have your own ebook, feel free to drop it below. Normally they get caught by spam, but I will go auto approve all of them, so you guys can get a backlink to your book. And if anybody's interested in a topic of it, they can click it and check it out for themselves. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. You're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. Thank you guys so much for the 50,000 subscribers. I think I told you guys all that already, but again, just wanted to thank you so much for that. That was weird. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This video's got to be over, guys. I'll check you later.